So you're going to laugh at me. You're going to laugh at me, absolutely laugh at me. But just 2 days ago, I was so miserable to the point that I was on a date, I thought was a decent date. But like soon after, I unmatched dude. And then yesterday, I came across a video that talked about different kind of mental shortcuts and biases and fallacies that we all kind of run with that frames how we do things, our perceptions, the way that we treat other people, how we see ourselves, all of those things, right? And then I decided I'm going to go ahead and write a blog. So I'm going to research some of these things and I'm going to write a blog about this. And as I'm doing that, I'm like holding up a mirror to myself and realizing that in some of these processes, the dating processing even, I've had some faulty reasoning, which affected my selection, but also how I behaved with people. So I have a thing where I obviously pay attention to patterns. I'm not the only one. We all kind of do that. But, I look at the patterns and then I'm going to predict what's going to happen based on that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I've recognized that it is a level of bias. Now, does it serve me well? Yeah, it does. Does it harm me sometimes? Yeah, it does. Because it's also this idea of, am I missing out on something? Like when I unmatched that dude, I'm like, there were some good things about him. I could have stretched it out a little bit longer to kind of see how it unfolded. But hindsight is 2020. And we all think we know everything after the fact, right? But that's not true. So even that in itself, there's a hindsight bias where we think, like after the fact, that, yeah, we could have done better, this, that, and the other. But in the moment, we do what we can with the information that we have, which is also another bias because sometimes we are dependent on what we call availability bias, where the information is the what is readily available is what we go with, right? And that information may be incomplete. So I'm looking at the patterns and I'm looking at the information that I already have. I'm looking at the information that I have and I'm creating my own narrative. And I've done that in this dating scene. Now, I do believe that I made some good decisions, but I also believe I made some very brash ones, some very quick ones, and I may have messed up some things that could have gone well. And I know some of you are going to say, Marsha, but what is for you is for you. I hear that so often. And I think what happens with a lot of us, we do create this echo chamber. We create this narrative that is very the same. So we don't hear anything contrary and anything that is different to what we already believe, that self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing. Whatever that goes against that, we don't really give any type of validity. We don't really consider it, any type of consideration. But I'm starting after really going through these different biases and I understand the need for mental shortcuts because we don't have all day, every day to figure out people and decide if the situation is safe or not. We have to figure it out quickly sometimes. So I get it. I understand it. Some of those things it's about surviving, right? So I guess I understand it. But after going through that, I started to analyze myself and realize, hey, Marsha, sister girl, you have some room for improvement. And truth be told, I'm a little bit excited. So excited that today, when I got back on the app, I have a new lease on life. I'm looking at it even differently now. So right now I have 3 people that I'm talking to. I do not like a bunch of people. So you match a whole bunch of people. And I don't like that because that is also an issue too. It's a paradox where, that's another phenomenon where we have this idea of choice and it can create some anxiety issue and become overwhelming. I don't like that. So I like to narrow it down as quickly as possible, which is one of the reasons why sometimes I go to patterns and I go to the information that I have and I make those decisions very quickly. You are here, you're not, we unmatch and we keep it pushing. And I know at least 2 of those 3 people are about to go at the end of this podcast. Because if by that time they haven't sent a message back, brother, you're out. So I'm like that, but the Lord is working on me. There's still room for improvement. But it's just the energy is different now because I do realize and I recognize that there are areas of improvement, and I know where to pay attention now. See, sometimes that's where the frustration comes in, is that we know something needs to change, but we don't know how to change it, And that makes a difference when you kind of know, all right, here's a little bit of a blueprint. This is something you can fix here, and it's within your circle of, I don't like to say control, because there are very, very little things we can control. Even the areas that we think we're controlling is influenced by something else, but it's something we can manage. And so because I have something tangible that I can work on, I'm looking at this mirror and I'm going, okay, Marsha, this is an area. And so it brings me, it's less frustrating and overwhelming and discouraging. And I'm a little bit excited to experiment and see how changing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And, I'm excited to see how that works out. So wish me luck and read my blog. I'm about to I'll say by tomorrow morning, BST, British Standard Time, it should be on my website. And yeah, I'm super excited. Anyway, we'll talk soon. Hope you are doing well. This is Masha Kerr Talley. Bye.